ஹலோ சார், அந்த நெல்லையில் செவனில் வந்து பாருங்க, ஒரு 100 அடி தேசிய கொடி ஏற்றுறாங்க. எடுத்தீங்களா? எடுத்தீங்களா? வந்துக்கிட்டு இருக்குன்னு Express via Madurai, arrive on platform number 2 around 8 hours 45 minutes. Traffic light, Rupiah traffic, गाड़ी संख्या 1 एक्सप्रेस मार्ग से छतर मदुरई टेक्निकल जंक्शन तो लगभग 8:45 मिनट प्लेटफॉर्म नंबर 2 पर आपकी संभावना है। 5 सेकंड
சார், ஒரு தேசிய குடி ஏறிக்கிட்டு போறீங்க. தமிழ்நாடு தேசிய குடி ரயில்வே ஸ்டேஷனில் ரெக்கார்டிங் போட்டுக்கலான்னு தெரியல. அப்படி ஒரு வேளை போடலாம் திரும்ப அனுப்புவேன். ஓகேவா? ஃப்ளாட் அப்படிதான் நல்ல ஃப்ளாட்டிங் போட்டீங்களா? ஓகே 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 சார். ஓகே
प्लेटफॉर्म नंबर 3 पर आ चुकी है। 5 सेकंड गवनिச்சு வண்டி எண் 1 6 arrive on platform number 2 around 8 hours 45 minutes. Traffic light, Rupiah traffic, गाड़ी संख्या 1 एक्सप्रेस मार्ग से छतर मदुरई टेक्निकल जंक्शन तो लगभग 8:45 मिनट प्लेटफॉर्म नंबर 2 पर आपकी संभावना है।
அவ்வளோதானா? கேப் இருக்கு. எனக்கு தெரியுது, அவங்களுக்கு தெரியுதா? இப்படி பறந்தாதான் நல்லா இருக்கும்.
மேலே ஃபுல்லாக பண்ணுறோம்.
அவர் பேச போறாரா இப்படி வாடா டேய் நம்ம தானே சொல்றேன் இப்படி வாடா பேச போறாரு
I now request Assistant Regional Director Sri S.K. Swami to kindly deliver the Independence Day address.
And other ladies and gentlemen, we are all celebrating 75 years of independence, the Adithanar and the Madurai. I would like to extend all of you my greetings to all of you and also to members of your families on this historic occasion. It is an honor for me to address all of you on this 76th Independence Day. Every Independence Day offers us a chance to remember the nation's heroes, of the sacrifices they have made and many struggles they have fought selflessly. They have challenged the most complex and powerful empire that mankind had ever known. And we have defeated the colonialism through sheer power of will, essential in ahimsa. Our freedom struggle was therefore unique, since we did not use the bullets or bombs to win our cause, but showed the world that truth and non-violence are more potent and sustainable weapons of war. Freedom is an exquisite necklace of many stones of value, but the most dazzling of them is indeed the freedom to choose one's own destiny. There is immeasurable joy embedded in getting to experiment with how you want to chisel the stone before you. The journey of that stone from being an amorphous block to a work of fine art, painstaking yet infinitely rewarding. Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav is a celebration of 75 years of great national experiment India has been through since August 15, 1947. While many across the world have ridiculed that this fledgling nation would not even cross the infancy, mired as they were in abject and widespread illiteracy and poverty. And yet our forefathers steered our country out of those straits onto steady waters of open ocean. Despite that, our country was to witness many a storm on its onward journey, but we weathered all such storms, and here we stand saluting the tricolor gifted by our forefathers. I am proud that the Reserve Bank of India has played a seminal role in steadying Indian ship. The Reserve Bank, though founded in pre-independence days, had derived fresh life and new purpose after its independence. As the central pillar supporting the economic firmament, Reserve Bank's task was cut out, support and nurture the financial system and help make it work for everyone. Reserve Bank's success in this endeavor is evident from the respect it continues to garner in the hearts and minds of the countrymen, and also the regard it is held in central banks across the world. As the central bank of the country with comprehensive mandates and multifarious responsibilities, each in the Reserve Bank has an important role to play in fulfilling the responsibilities and meeting the emerging expectations in the journey towards realizing the vision of more resilient and vibrant and dynamic India. Every Independence Day is also an occasion for us to evaluate and rededicate ourselves individually and collectively to the service of the country. In this vein, I would like to touch upon the various activities taken up by various departments in our office. Right from the founding days, the common man has identified the Reserve Bank as being the issuer of currency notes. I am glad to note that our issue department has been proactively supplying the fresh notes despite disruptions due to natural calamities and pandemic to meet the currency requirements of the banks and the public at large. And the issue department has been monitoring the uptime of the ATMs and ATMs were functioning fully and there was no report of having been disrupted due to lack of cash. On the clean-up policy front, I am happy to inform you that our office has processed more than 178 crore pieces during the last 9 months from October 21 to June 22, and this is the highest target, highest number of pieces processed by any other office in the country, and the credit goes to our issue department Chennai office. We have not only processed our own circle notes, but we have also taken the soil notes from Kanpur, Lucknow and Trivandrum circles and processed their notes also to ensure the clean notes are prevalent in most of the country. The Central Office too has acknowledged and appreciated by way of a letter commending our efforts, and in this regard I would like to congratulate and commend the local issue department staff for their unstinted cooperation and also the support they have lent, and I would like to thank all the other departments also for extending their support by sparing their manpower for realizing this target. And a special note in the cooperation we have received from our classroom staff, which has enabled us to achieve this target of silent processing. And one of the most critical responsibilities of the Reserve Bank is to ensure the soundness of country's banking ecosystem. In this regard, I am glad to note that our Department of Supervision has remained agile and vigilant to the developments in the sector. Through timely conduct of on-site inspections as well as a close and constant monitoring of the regulated entities, namely the banks, the NBFCs and urban cooperative banks, we have ensured that its antenna are tuned to pick up the signals of concern at the earliest and the remedial measures are adopted at the earliest to ensure that nothing goes wrong. One such instance was a GL loan waiver scheme announced by the government of Tamil Nadu in November 21 to avoid a deterioration of financials of the cooperative banks. We have requested the state government to release the entire amount payable to the cooperative banks under the scheme in one installment rather than in 5 installments, which the government has envisaged originally. I am glad to inform you that the state government has agreed with our suggestions and paid the eligible amount to all the cooperative banks on 31st March 2022. We thank the government for acceding to the request of the Reserve Bank of India, and thereby it has helped the cooperative banks to improve their financial position. Concomitant to our responsibilities as regulator and supervisor, Reserve Bank also actively engages itself in redressal of the consumer grievances. Offices of RBI Ombudsman and CEPC cells set up in offices across the country are dedicated towards achieving this goal. As you may be aware, the infrastructure of grievance redressal has undergone a sea change with the introduction of Reserve Bank Integrated Ombudsman Scheme in November 2021. Besides converging all the 3 Ombudsman schemes for banks, NBFCs and digital transactions, the new scheme has also enhanced the scope of grievance redressal to include the grievances against the non-scheduled primary cooperative banks with a deposit size of 50 crore rupees and above, and of late we have also included the grievances against the trade information companies under this scheme. The Reserve Bank Integrated Ombudsman Scheme 2021 is also geared towards operationalizing the jurisdiction neutral idea of one nation, one ombudsman through centralizing the receipt of customer complaints at CRPC Chandigarh, thereby providing the customer the comfort of single point of contact. These complaints are then distributed to offices across the country for further processing. I am glad to note that our RBI Ombudsman Office has been performing exceedingly well in redressing the customer grievances efficiently and effectively, and even provides support to other offices across the country. The Ombudsman Office has also been proactively engaged around the year in conducting awareness and outreach programs touching people from various strata. Our CPC too has been ably supporting the bank's initiative in grievance redressal, though the number of complaints received at CPCs has reduced since the introduction of RBI OS 2021 with a widened scope. I am glad to note that CPC has also been engaging in customer awareness initiatives, including a novel awareness campaign of flashing the awareness messages in railway stations through CCTVs to cover the floating population. Closely associated with the idea of reducing customer grievance is the philosophy of financial inclusion. It is philosophy because the financial inclusion is not merely having a bank account and debit account and a debit card. True financial inclusion involves a revolutionary change in the way one views money, understands how the world of money works, and is in a position to rationally consider various options of finding or investing money as well as safeguarding it in the process. Faithful to its founding team, our Financial Inclusion and Development Department has been proactively engaging the public through banks, intermediaries, as well as directly in disseminating financial literacy awareness messages. During this calendar year, 60 financial literacy programs have been conducted, benefiting over 3,600 people from various target groups comprising the self-help groups, the small entrepreneurs, the farmers, school children, etc. Acknowledging the increasingly digital world of finance, the scope of financial inclusion has also broadened to embrace digital transactions, considering the myriad opportunities and challenges that technology has presented to us. In line with the same, the Financial Literacy Week 2022, celebrated in February, had as its theme Go Digital, Go Secure, which also happens to be one of the strategic objectives of the National Strategy for Financial Education 2020-25. In connection with the same, several financial literacy initiatives were commendably undertaken by the department. After the success of pilot project of expanding and deepening the digital payments ecosystem, which is known as 100% digitalization in Virudhunagar and Karaikal districts, which have achieved 97% and 100% digitalization, the project has now been extended to a few other districts. I am also glad to inform you that in order to ensure last mile reach of the benefits of digital banking and to commemorate Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, 75 digital banking units are set to be established across the country, and 3 such digital banking units are going to be under the Chennai office jurisdiction. I am also glad to note the efforts taken by the department towards supporting the MSMEs through sustained engagement with all the stakeholders, namely the government entities, the banking fraternity and the MSME bodies. I truly believe that going forward, MSMEs will be the growth engines fueling the GDP and the export growth as well as generating the sustainable jobs in the days to come. Payment and settlement systems in another frontier that is witnessing a sea change of late, having established the world-class architecture in payment space and with continued efforts to bring in innovations and technological changes, tremendous opportunities for advancement are opening up. To support the digital payments ecosystem, Reserve Bank has rolled out many initiatives, including the UPI 123 Pay and DG Sati, a 24/7 helpline to address the queries of users across the entire gamut of digital payments. All banks, ATM networks, white label ATM operators have been advised to provide the option of interoperable cardless cash withdrawal facility at their ATMs. The absence of need for a card to initiate cash withdrawal transactions would help in containing the frauds like skimming, card cloning, device tampering, etc. These initiatives are envisioned to accelerate the process of digital adoption in India by creating a richer and inclusive ecosystem that can accommodate larger sections of the population. I am also glad to note that our DPSS has been actively taking measures to enhance the consumer awareness through its electronic banking awareness and training programs and organizing campaigns on safe use of digital payments modes through various media channels. Of late, cyber crimes related to payments have been on the rise, calling for stepping up of the customer awareness campaigns. Accordingly, the training approach has been adapted from passive and mass communication to customized and user-specific delivery channel. Our banking department plays a pivotal role in discharging the bank's statutory responsibilities of being a banker to the government and banker to the banks. One area of thrust in this domain is the automation of the government receipts and payments, which will lead faster settlement, near real-time fund management, and thereby better customer service. In this regard, I am glad to inform you that the user acceptance testing exercise of e-receipts with the Reserve Bank of India's e-Kuber and Government of Tamil Nadu has been completed successfully in July 2022. It enables the Government of Tamil Nadu to receive the receipts directly into their account without any delay and reconciliation of the government receipts on a daily basis. Similarly, the Government of Puducherry has been integrated with e-Kuber for making payments, ensuring immediate payment and their reconciliation. E-payments module accounts for 97% of the total payments made in the month of July 2022. I also wish to commend the department's efforts in popularizing the retail direct scheme through posters and pamphlets that had been designed in-house. This retail direct scheme enables the common investors to invest in government securities very easily and without any middleman, so that the common persons can also claim that they have also taken part in the government debt. For Reserve Bank of India to continue discharging its responsibility to the country, there is a constant need for gathering the data, making sense of it, and applying it in the informed decision making. As we are all aware, Reserve Bank of India is monetary policy authority, and monetary policy making is one of the prime mandates of the Reserve Bank of India, and controlling, curtailing the inflation is the main one of the main targets, and for which we need to collect the data constantly, and real-time data should be there. And the two departments in the bank are at the forefront of these crucial activities. There is the Department of Economic and Policy Research and Department of Statistics and Information Management. While a significant proportion of the staff are based out in Mumbai, but there are local units in our office, there is DPR and DC, which have been supporting the central office in data collection and study, as well as engaging in locally rooted quality research of their own. A special note are analytical studies undertaken by the DPR titled the COVID-19 Disruptions and MSMEs in Tamil Nadu. The greatest asset of any institution is what I wish to call its human wealth rather than the human resource. The employees working for the Reserve Bank are the creators of the institutional knowledge and creators of its legacy. Therefore, timely and thoughtful investment into each employee's knowledge and understanding are of paramount importance. A crucial role in this exercise is played by the general training centers, including ours. I am glad to note that our ZTC has continued to perform its role of training its staff members in its domains of specialization, that is information technology and human resources. I am equally glad that the classroom mode of training has recommenced from June 2022 onwards after painful months of pandemic-induced social distancing. In aiding and supporting all these efforts, the role played by what I wish to call them the enabler departments cannot and should not be forgotten. Our DIT cell has played a seminal role in ensuring the upkeep of our digital infrastructure and ensured business continuity in the midst of and in spite of the raging pandemic. Our legal cell has continued to ably support the departments in appearing in legal cases as well as in articulating the bank's stand in such appearances with clarity and forcefulness. Our protocol and security cell has ensured the upkeep of the safety and security both in the bank's premises and in our residential colonies. Our estate department has ensured the maintenance of the assets and also undertaken several works of significance, enhancing the functionality and aesthetics of the bank's premises with a careful eye on economy and effectiveness of the expenditure. Our special mention is the receipt of gold rating from the Indian Green Building Council for our staff quarters at Basantanagar. Further, in step with the bank's efforts at reducing our collective carbon footprint, the department has installed the grid interactive solar power plant of 9.9 kW capacity each at our staff quarters in Basantanagar and PH Road quarters. Last but never the least, the role played by our central establishment section and HR departments in ensuring a harmonious work environment is also noteworthy. I will not be doing my full justice if I do not refer to the other enablers associated with us. Prime among them are our doctors and the pharmacists, whose support has always been invaluable, particularly during the peak of pandemic. The police contingent stationed in the office, led by the guard commander, and the inclusive of the quick response team, has been on constant and vigilant watch, guarding the treasure housed in our office, both human and material. Our contract workers, including the private security guards, the IT engineers, maintenance staff, canteen workers, Mazdoors working in currency management, etc., have also rendered commendable support to our operations, and I am grateful for their work. 75 years of independence has not been very easy. Challenges and obstacles of various sizes, shades and shapes have been hurled at us by churning wheel of destiny, and yet we as a country have endured and prospered in the midst of and in spite of these. While each and every one of us must draw inspiration and pride from this display of perseverance, our homeland, we must also bear in mind that the challenges are a constant. Yet, what gives me hope and joy is how India has weathered the turbulence caused by the pandemic, continuing to script a story of growth despite an environment of gloom. True to the spirit of never say die, that was the life breath of our freedom struggle, I am sure generations of Bharatvasis of the present and future will continue to guide India on its path to prosperity, greater and deeper, and thereby live the dreams our great martyrs had dreamed and sacrificed their lives for our goodness. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I now request Srimati Gayatri Raghavan to sing the song. All are requested to please stand up to the song.
அண்ணா
தமிழ்தாய் வாழ்த்து பாடல் அனைவரும் எழுந்திருக்குமாறு மறைவர்கள் கேட்பது.
தெக்கணமும் அதிசிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு திரையுதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த வெறும் தமிழனே தமிழனே உன் சீரிழமை திறம் வியந்து செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே.
From time immemorial, music has played a key role in bringing people and communities together, as well as strengthen the collective will to fight for a cause. I now request my colleagues to render patriotic songs echoing the spirit of the day. The team from our office, comprising of Srimati Rani Srinivasan, Srimati Rani Lalita Balaji, Shri Debajyoti Sharma, have come forward with the patriotic song in Hindi, Bharat Humko Jaan Se Pyara Hai, song from the movie Roja.
भारत हमको जान से प्यारा है, सबसे न्यारा गुलिस्ता हमारा है।
भारत हमको जान से प्यारा है, सबसे न्यारा गुलिस्ता हमारा है। सदियों से वो अर्थ भूमि दुनिया की शान है, भारत माँ की में जीवन कुर्बान है। भारत हमको जान से प्यारा है,
सबसे न्यारा गुलिस्ता हमारा है।